Today's topic is something I think is relevant to both, well, let's say it's to both therapists and to just the average individual in general. Hey, how are y'all today? Hope you're having a happy Sunday. My name is Tex, and welcome to Tex Talks. The topic came about because I was having a conversation with somebody, and they specifically asked me a question. They said, I overheard this conversation. Notice how we're starting off already. And then they went on to tell me about what this person said. And they very briefly, just asked me, well, what do you think? Boy, that's a loaded question. And I told them that. I said, well, what do you mean? What do I think? And they're like, well, what do you think about this situation between these people? What this person was saying. And as I started to think about it, I said, well, lots of things come to mind. I said, the first thing is breaking down the situation. One, you overheard. What does that mean? That's right. You were eavesdropping. Now, the other people may or may not have known you were eavesdropping, but simple fact that you're eavesdropping should give you a clue. When you ask, what do I think? I think, why are you eavesdropping? Two, if you are hearing someone basically go through and what this person had overheard was basically a litany of complaints about a relationship. And I said, well, if you mean what do I think when it pertains to the person who is making the comments, that's difficult because the first thing I always think is I need more information. Have you ever found yourself in a situation where you hear one small bit of data and then you say, oh, and this is why, or this is what you should do? When you find yourself in that, shut up. Just shut up. And I say that in the nicest of all possible ways to save you and everyone else a lot of problems. If you hear one little piece of information and you don't gather any more information, if someone actually does come to you or is talking to you and says, there's this problem, the first thing you have to ask is, do you want me to just listen? Or are you bringing this to me so we can problem solve? Remember my drama triangle. Because sometimes people come in as the victim, luring you in to be the rescuer. And it is okay if the person comes in and says, I'm just having a hard day and I would like to dump. And they may say it different ways, like I would just like to vent, I would like to gripe, I just need to talk, I just need to reflect. You don't have to say anything, I just need to speak it so that I can hear my own words, and then I can come back with maybe a solution that I want. And as long as that's the arrangement that y'all have, awesome. If it's not, congratulations, you're moving into the drama triangle. The other thing is gathering information means that you're looking at the thing from an outside perspective, from different angles. You're asking questions. When somebody says they have a problem, you need to ask a lot of questions, like, is this a repeating problem? Is this a problem you've had since you was a kid? Is this what part of this is your problem? What part of this is somebody else's problem? What part of it is the world's problem? Maybe even ask, is it really a problem? Sometimes things that we think are problems are not problems. Or they're problems that we really can't do nothing about, The sun shines. You can put on shades, you can pull the curtains, but the odds of you getting the sun to decide not to shine today are not very high. I wouldn't bet on it. So then you get into the whole, why are you bringing the problem to me that should be rolling in your head? Again, if you're bringing it to me because you're trying to resolve the issue, Okay. If you're bringing it because you just want to vent for a second, maybe. If it's a problem that you've been venting to me and to somebody else and somebody else and somebody else, then you probably don't want to resolve the situation. You're actually enjoying the venting. Maybe this is passive aggressive. You're using, words to beat this other person that you're upset about in this problem. Or maybe you're triangulating, which is a whole nother thing. I'm trying to turn you against this other person so that you can go take care of my business for me and I don't have to confront them. Because one of my next questions to roll in my mind is if this person really wants to solve the problem they're having with somebody else, the one person that could actually do something about it besides themselves is the other person. Why are they not talking to that person to solve their problem? So you can already see gathering information, trying to figure out what's going on. It's a lot like philosophy. When you talk philosophy with somebody, and this could be ideology, this could be how you think about things. You need to find some common agreement on terms so that you understand what the other person is wanting to say. What is it they're wanting to prove or disprove? What is it they're wanting to get out of the conversation? If somebody's coming to you to just start an argument, do you just feel like arguing today? If you do, hey, jump in, have fun, go for it, dude. If you're not, though, then go, wait a minute, I'm being pulled into this. They're dragging me into their drama triangle. The other thing that you have to do then is pull back. And to me, this is real important. Pull back. If you hear one bit of information and you jump to a conclusion and you think, well, I know what the problem is. This is what it is. They must have this going on. This is happening here and all that. Before you say another word, go into the bathroom and look in the mirror and ask yourself, why did I come to that conclusion with one bit of presented information? Because a lot of times when we start saying things like, oh, this is their problem, this is what's going on, this is what I see, maybe it has something to do with your outlook on the world. Maybe you're projecting your problem onto them. Maybe you're seeing yourself and, something from your childhood, something from your relationships, your general outlook on the world, your outlook on yourself, and how you feel about yourself. How many rules are you implying in here, and all twisted off of one little piece of information? How many biases are you bringing out to throw on the table? Because you've jumped all these conclusions. You didn't even try to gather information. You didn't even try to see all sides of it. You just jumped right in there. Do you do that often? Do you hear somebody say one thing like, oh, boy, Fred's an asshole. And before you even clarify what they mean, you jump in there. Oh, well, that's probably because of blah, blah, blah. They did this and that, and I seen that, and I know that, and this is that kind of person. And you start using those words, all something or something. This never happens. This always happens. Notice how you're starting to use those words that basically throw away all the other possibilities and narrow it on the one that you want to believe. And yes, I said want to believe. Because if you come to a conclusion without really, really thinking about things deeply, then your conclusion is what you want your conclusion to be, not what you've stood back and done. There's actually this idea that a lot of times we tend to include information that agrees with us, throw away any information that doesn't agree with us so that our world fits our conclusions very quickly. Instead of actually going in, we'll say, oh, yes, I gathered all the information first, and I made a very neutral decision about how this was or what I thought or what I wanted. No, you knew what you wanted, and you just kind of moved all the pieces around the chessboard until they fit the game you wanted. That in mind, you have to ask yourself, why is it important to believe that way? So hopefully the lesson that was learned was, don't ask Tex what he thinks about something, because you're not probably going to like the answer. It's not going to be what you think. I'm going to ask you why you think the way you think about this situation. Why is it even important to you? What were you doing in the middle of this situation to begin with? Is this someone actually trying to work and solve a problem? Or is this somebody wanting to play in the drama triangle? And why are you playing in the drama triangle? And if somebody really is trying to resolve a situation, then start asking yourself, well, why are they coming to you if the problem is somewhere else? We do that a lot. There's a story that I really enjoy. One of them is one of these wise men who had a bunch of, people that would come to him for information help. You can see it like a professor at a campus or something like that. And one day he's crawling around under the lamppost. And of course, all of his students come up and they're like, what's the matter? And he goes, I lost my key. So they all get on the ground, they're crawling around with him, looking and looking all in the lamppost, everywhere, going around and around. Finally, one of the students says, why was your key out way over here by the lamppost? Oh, it wasn't. It was over there by the door when I lost my key. Well, then why aren't we looking over there? Oh, because it's dark over there. I want to look here in the light. Over there's dark. This is easier to look in. So you can see a lot of times we're looking for answers in an easy spot, and we're not going to the difficult place where the real answers lie. The real answer lies, why were you even eavesdropping to begin with? Why were you listening? Why did you come to the conclusion you came? What was the person really trying to resolve? What's all the information? And you need more. And what's missing? Take it for granted that any individual is going to give you only their part of the story that makes them shine. They're very unlikely to give you information that's disparaging on them, unless their point is to make themselves look bad for a second. You go, why would someone do that? Well, again, sympathy. Woe is me. So hope that helps. Think about it. If you're in a situation where you're dealing with people, gather more information. Think about what's going on. What is it they want to accomplish? Ask them. Don't be afraid to ask people point blank. What would you like to happen from this conversation? What would you like to resolve? What is it you want? What is it you want from me? How do you think that will help? What else is involved? Questions, questions, questions. So y'all have a great day. Thank you very much. Have a happy Sunday, and I hope you're enjoying yourself. I'll see y'all again next time.